We were there school year 55, 56, 56, 57. We taught the first 2 years he taught was in Lyman, or in Flagler. And then Art Watson, the superintendent, came over and says, would you like to teach at Lyman? Our music department needs to be built up. And Donald said, I'd be glad to if we find a way to schedule the band when nobody else has a subject that they have to graduate. So that's why they started having the band the first thing in the morning. And those that weren't in band went to study hall. And by that, he got anybody that wanted to play.
My dad's impact on Lyman was immense. He was raised there, and so he sort of fit in. But he had a background in the military as well. He had been trained at Fort Leonard Wood for Korea and ended up not going there, but he learned a lot in the way of discipline and just the ability to work with folks. And so when he came back, he employed that. After going through the University of Colorado music program, he eventually came to Lyman, and he employed that kind of discipline. And you couldn't talk to any student who went through his program that was not grateful for the fact that he had gotten that to them in a way that they could use it wherever they went. And so that's what they remembered. You know, when at his funeral, we heard a lot of old students come back saying what impact he had had on their lives.
My father, school was everything to him. He was very active with his band and the pep band, loved the sports. So if the basketball team made it to the district or state championships, he'd always have the pep bands would always be there. And
he ran the clock for the basketball games.
That's true.
And he also helped at track meets, measuring here, usually at the pole vault. So he was real close to the athletic program. It was all part of one big organization, actually.
There was very few conflicts between the two programs, being athletics and music. Dad made sure, and there was an understanding among the faculty and alumni, you just don't interfere with those things if at all possible. So there was a good relationship, good understanding, and both programs were able to thrive, I think. My favorite memory of my father, I guess, would be there was just a general pursuit of excellence. I remember being in those large groups contests, lined up in the hall waiting to perform, to go out into formation, and not a word was said. There was just pure intensity. And then after the performance, sometimes the judges would cry even.
I guess I would say, as far as his band or his choruses, kids that were not necessarily interested in the music or who could perform well still went for those things because of the feeling within the organization that this was something special. And Dad enjoyed that. You'd often catch him not saying, Lyman's band or whatever. He said it was my band.
I was the youngest, so I remember when I was really young and I was like in kindergarten. I go to school for half a day. And I remember my father used to bring the cadet band around kind of out of the way a block or two, and just so I could so he'd march them by me, and I could get to see my brothers and that type of thing. So he wasn't always so strict. He found a way to enjoy what he did as well.
My dad's reaction into being elected into the CHSAA Hall of Fame would be pure joy.
He would be thrilled to death.
Some of the Lyman folks that are already there, Mr. Warren Mitchell, Donald Weber, Lloyd Gaskell, were all also friends. In fact, Dad worked with Mr. Mitchell during the summer. And to be in that group with this type of an award and this type of appreciation, he would have been thrilled.